Hello and welcome to this lesson on the present tense, el presente en español. We use the present tense to be able to talk about what we normally and generally do. First of all, we're going to look at AR verbs. We've chosen escuchar, to listen, a very common AR verb. So if you looked up a verb in a dictionary, you would always get this form. It's called the infinitive, and it means to do something. So we're looking at to listen. First of all then, to be able to form the verb, to be able to say who is doing the listening, we need to take off the AR. So escuch is what we call our stem. And we can put the stems down the bottom with the different persons ready to be formed. So the minute we don't have any idea of who's doing the listening. So the first one, I listen, we add the different endings. The first one is o, so escucho, I listen. Next one, escuchas, you listen. Then we've got escucha, he or she listens. Next up we've got the plural ones, so escuchamos, we listen. Escucháis, you plural listen, and escuchan, they listen. Next up we're going to look at the ER verbs. Again, we've chosen a very common verb, so comer, to eat. So, straight away, exactly the same idea for the ER verbs as for the AR. Take off the ER, end up with the stem, com, and put the com at the bottom, ready to be formed. The minute we have no information about who is doing this action of eating, so add the endings. Exactly the same first person, so como. And now you look and you'll see that the ER verbs are a mirror image of the AR verbs. So instead of AS you've got ES, so comes, you eat. Come, he or she eats. Comemos, we eat. Coméis, you plural eat. And comen, they eat. Finally we're going to look at IR verbs. Chosen vivir, to live. Again we get the idea now how to do this. So take off the IR, end up with the stem called bib. Put it down here ready to be formed. And we're looking for some information about who is doing the action of living. Again, exactly the same start, so bibo. So all three verbs have the same ending for the first person. So bibo, I live. Bibes, you live. Bibe, he or she lives. Now you'll notice that they are exactly the same as the ER verbs. Then we've got a couple of odd ones. Okay, so bibimos, we live. Bibis, you plural live. And then back to similarities with biben, they live. Okay, we're going to look at about how to make a question. In Spanish it's very, very simple. To make a question, all you need to do is add question marks. So, comes pollo? You eat chicken. Comes pollo? Do you eat chicken? Remember, when you're speaking, you need to raise your voice to intimate a question. Comes pollo? But with the writing, all you need to do is add two question marks. One upside down, one normal, one at the end. Next up, we're going to talk about different persons of the verb. So, yo, I, tú, you, él, he, ella, she, usted, for you, polite. These are all the singular subject pronouns. Now they're not always used with the verbs, but you'll find them sometimes used for extra emphasis. Next up we've got nosotros, us or we, vosotros, you plural, ellos, they, ellas, they for the feminine, and then ustedes, the you polite plural. Also we can use actual people's names, so we might say Felipe, Philip, vive en Madrid, he, as in he lives, so Philip lives in Madrid. Sarah y yo, Sarah and I, nadamos en la piscina, as in we swim, Sarah and I, we swim, because it's Sarah and I. And finally, Elisa y Alberto, so Elisa and Albert, cantan, so they sing. Okay, so Elisa y Alberto cantan. Finally, we're going to look at some time phrases to use with the present tense. Normalmente, generalmente, por lo general, los martes, el fin de semana, durante la semana. Okay, so this list isn't an exhaustive list by any stretch. It's definitely a good starting point. Remember, with something like los martes on Tuesdays, you can use lots of other days of the week. And a couple of examples at the bottom to see here. Normalmente escucho música con mis amigos. I normally listen to music with my friends. Y los martes comemos en el restaurante. On Tuesdays we eat in the restaurant. Pues gracias por escuchar. Thank you for listening, and I hope that this has helped you correctly form the regular present tense.